fact, let's get to the recaps. We got a lot to look forward to. It's time for the usual. Huh?
That's all film, right?
Yeah, I got the whole thing on film. Yo, we had Newtown put a booth in. Newtown put a booth in with bleachers. The view is perfect, dude. Oh yeah, you took an L. That's why they call you Lost Collins. Yeah. Wonderful time. I was waiting for that. There you are. Perfect. All right. But yeah, like I was saying, what's up, Jamie? I see you there. Let's get to everything that went down. What a weekend it was for the sport. This is the little PowerPoint. Professor Blaze on point. Anybody wants to call in and talk about what happened, let us know. Sheesh. That wind's getting intense right now.
It was bad down in Montgomery County all day.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's that time of the year, dog. You can feel it. KFFL scores right off the gate. I was there on Saturday. Kicking off first game of the day, X-Dogs defeated the Demons 20-12 in a game where, in the case of the X-Dogs, they were down 12-0 at halftime. Demons had control of this game. This is something a runaway for the Demons early on. And, you know, more weapons being shown for them this weekend. Sean Moats making his return after a 4-month absence. Last time we saw him was the Washington County semifinals against the Tri-State Spartans. Moats made his return. The impact felt was immediate on that defensive line. You got a stacked D line right now. Brock Klein, Sean Moats, J-Dub, Malcolm, Kaja. That is the making of the D line right there. That's going to come pay dividends come playoffs. Huh? They did not win. X-Dogs turning around. Classic X-Dogs. Matt Eisenberg and company stepping up in a big way in that second half. This is once again a veteran team versus I don't want to call them an inexperienced team. Like these are not inexperienced guys. These are guys that these are guys that we would build a championship team with. When you think about it, this is the team that we would build with. And I think what hurts them in that second half is the X-Dogs' ability to adjust to Sean Parker's quarterback play. They bit down on that. We talked about it. The X-Dogs' biggest problem has been their D-line being it's a little less athletic, a little more bulk, which has caused them issues at times against more mobile quarterbacks. But lately, they've been playing more finesse on that D-line for certain matchups. They've been adjusting. Matt Eisenberg plays chess in these games. That's a lot of things. People forget, no matter how much you can say the X-Dogs are not the team they were many years ago, they still are. Yeah, the game's different for them. It's not what it was back then, but at the same time, this is a team that can still play. They're smart. You don't want to let them back in, and that's what the Demons did. This was a veteran team winning a game. They went out there and win. That's why I give them recognition. X-Dogs back on the wall this week. They got a 4-game winning streak in KFFL right now after the 0-2 start. They got a big game with the Misfits on Saturday. That's going to be awesome. We got to see them against the Scorpions over the weekend. That was a great game. Thanks to Greg Proctor for the donation. Glad to have the jersey out there. Baltimore Scorpions it is once again. We got that clarification over the weekend. No Mercy is gone. They're just Baltimore Scorpions, or as we know them, Scorpions.
Yeah.
I like it.
Should never even change.
I agree. I like it.
Should just went by Scorpion.
They're the Scorpions.
Anything, just drop the first part and just go by Scorpion.
I like it though. They're back. And we saw that also represented, of course, at great games with Scorpions Rampage. Who can forget Worlds 2020? Scorpions, NTB Wolfpack. They're both going to be an A. There's a potential for the last two B champions to face off in A this year. That's going to be awesome. We saw that actually at Worlds 2020. Second gen, the Maryland Bullets faced off. Could be a repeat. And then, of course, the champion main event, trench bully jersey in memory of Christopher Severino. Yeah. 1 year it'll be very soon since the passing of Sev.
I'm gonna get that framed up and everything.
Yeah. Like, great tribute, and it's a good jersey. But like, crazy to think how much time has passed on. It's been a crazy year. Been a crazy 2 years, all filled into one, really. So let's go back to the recap. Demons 28, Tri-State Spartans nothing. If anybody wants their jersey on the back wall, just let us know. We'll rep your team anytime you're part of the show or doing well. Just got the one for the Scorpions over the weekend. Sorry about that. Let me turn down my notifications a little bit. Continuing to recap, Demons 28, Tri-State Spartans nothing. Tri-State is not the Spartans we saw back in the spring. We talked about it going back to the end of the KFFL regular season when they were 16-5. Tri-State is now, since then, at a record of 4-9. They have just gone downhill overall. Yeah, they've gotten a few circuit wins along the way, but numbers are killing them. Only 9 for this game. They went down to 8 for a moment after Brandon Michael got injured. Had one more show up, but it just wasn't enough as the Demons ran away 28-0. Next game after that, awesome game, instant classic. X-Dogs 21, Killer Bees 18. One of the best matchups you'll find in this rivalry. X-Dogs led 6-0 at the half. Very tight game, back and forth, of course. But between the two in the second half, it was an absolute shootout. TJ Williams, Matt Eisenberg, back and forth, firing away, going at it. A matchup that, oddly enough, we have not seen many times over the years. So we were blessed to get this one. Rare matchup between these two. Probably the best one they've had yet. It was a great duel from start to finish. Big shout out to both teams. Big shout out to Tyler Spencer. He was live for that game. He was up there at KFFL hanging out during a bye week for the Misfits, getting ready for OMFFL the next day. But he went live for that game in the second half. That film is on Team Blunt Talk, Facebook, and YouTube. Anybody wants to go back and watch it. X-Dogs, Killer Bees. It's not edited yet. I'll have it at some point down the road. But what an awesome game that was. Back and forth, start to finish. Big shout out to both teams. X-Dogs are on fire right now. 4 wins in a row. They're starting to turn it around. They're getting somewhere. All credit to them right now. Next game up, Outlaws 24, Tri-State Spartans nothing. Biggest after this one, 67-point swing from the meeting back in April. Remember, when these two faced off back in week 2 of the KFFL spring season, Tri-State won 43-0 in that game. Much different Spartans team that day, though. That team was loaded up. They were on fire. They're cooking on all cylinders. They had a doubleheader that day with prime time as well, which was an absolute classic. This Spartan team, not on that same level, not playing it to, but not taking away from the Outlaws either. This Outlaws team is looking the best they've looked all year. We have given them a lot of criticism. They started out losing their first 14 games, exhibition games included. They're on fire right now, though, at 2-4. People will snuff at that and say that's a nothing record, but at the same time, for where this franchise has been many times over the years, they were KFFL original. Go back to being the original Spartans back in the day. For what they have been through and everything else, you got to give this team credit. They're starting to get somewhere right now. Sean Simmons making some big moves. I look forward to seeing how the Outlaws progress throughout the year. Next game up, West Virginia Venom over the Killer Bees, 18-12. I wasn't there for that one. From what I was told, it was a very close competitive game. Same for this one, Venom over the Outlaws, 26-14. Once again, I left by that point. The weather was a little unpredictable on Saturday. It would rain a lot for a little bit, and then it would be sunny for a little bit. I just left because I didn't want to take a risk on equipment with OMFFL the next day. So, unfortunately, wasn't able to get too much of it. Neither we get this last game, though. Pure Chaos beating Primetime by a forfeit. Primetime had players apparently playing in the Pennsylvania Premier Flag Football League co-ed playoffs is the word we got. And because of that, they were unable to field a team. So they took a forfeit instead. So Primetime, second loss of the year, first win for Chaos. So Chaos 1-5 now. Let's see if maybe they can give us some momentum from this. Take a look at the standings right now. First place in the KFFL's Misfits, 6-0 on the year. Look at that sub record there, 19-0 all time in Shippensburg at that field. They have not lost a game yet in KFFL, whether it be in league play or the winter chiller. 19-0 overall, 6-0 this year. They got a challenge this coming weekend with the West Virginia Venom at 6-1. Most wins in franchise history for this team. What a turnaround it's been for Venom. I know they don't like the Green Machine Association, but it would not start without that core. That core was what grew that team. It was a seed that was put to the ground. It grew into what it is going on right now. One of the hotter teams right now in 9-man. That's not getting a lot of talk because of the fact that they don't really play in a major league. They're in the KFFL. They don't travel, but they are one of those teams that would, in my opinion, for a non-travel team, is possibly the best in the country, if not one of the best. They have a lot they can do with it. They can definitely compete if they can get everybody together and keep growing from this core unit that they put together so far. Wolverines third place at 3-1. They will be back. They're going to be. I gotta say, it was interesting watching Elite Rebels on Sunday because I felt like I was watching Wolverines for a second, for a few moments. So glad to see them come together. They're definitely going to be a threat if you've been watching what they've been doing in OMFFL and what they've done this year in KFFL. That little group, conglomerate alliance, what words you want to use, is definitely a force to be reckoned with come this fall. But with Wolverines, they're shooting for that KFFL championship. We'll see how it goes the rest of the way. They're going to have a challenge themselves with the West Virginia Venom coming up. X-Dogs after that, they're 4-2. They're on a 4-game winning streak. They're starting to turn it around, and they are doing a lot better than where they were at the start of the season, where it seemed like they were looking at a repeat of their last county season. But the X-Dogs playing on a more competitive level, they're starting to gel at the right time. We'll see where it goes. They got the Misfits this weekend. Going to be a good matchup there. Prime time, they're 5th place at 3-2 at the moment. Forfeit loss sucks. I hate forfeits. I really do. I've gotten tired of seeing that word. But like not what you need right now in a playoff hunt. You were right up there with Wolverines, Venom, and Misfits, and right now you took an L. Hopefully, we'll get prime time back in. I don't know the situation right now with them. Hoping things are well with Ryan Jones and everything else. We'll talk about them hopefully next week in a more positive light. Just rough times overall, man. But they got my support either way. Those guys, they do great on the field. I look forward to seeing if we can get them back on there soon. I know they'll be popping up throughout the year on different teams on the circuit. But big shout out to the rest of the teams out there in KFFL. Spartans, I know they're struggling right now, 1-5. Worst start since their first season back. Outlaws at 2-4, surprisingly enough. Demons 4-4. Demons, I will say they have done a great job in getting to a better point. They're 4-1 since their 0-3 start. They're playing a lot better. I just feel like they have to learn to function as a team all together. It's going to be a case where the guys have played together over the years to some extent or another. It's just struggle to finish games, not being ready. Roster seems like it's kind of in flux. They got the pieces to be good come November. Right now, though, they're sitting at 6th place. Potential to finish strong, though. We'll see how it goes. Team Outlaws, like I said, they're 2-4. They've won 2 out of their last 5. That's a good run for this team when you've seen how they've grown over the years. Outlaws are definitely playing some of the better 9-man right now for one of the first-year teams compared to how they were back at the beginning of the year where it was just a struggle getting the offense going. Tri-State Spartans, like we said, 1-5. That's something that to me has been surprising, but it also hurts when you don't have guys there. And that's been an issue going back to Charm City Classic. They didn't have any guys at that tournament. They were very low on numbers there. I hope Tri-State can get something going again. It just seems like right now they don't have everybody, and I don't know if they will have anybody.
Right.
It's not looking good. 9th place is Pure Chaos at 1-5. That's
Just on my spark.
yeah.
Is Eli there?
No, Eli was not there. Pure Chaos 1-5. This ties the record for most wins in a single season. So big shout out to Pure Chaos. They get their first win of the season. That's ties a record for franchise wins. 1-5 for us. Ronnie started turning around.
We got forfeit.
That's an 18-0 win, pal.
Forfeit.
And finally, at 10th place, the Killer Bees. They're sitting at 1-6 right now. This is their worst record through 7 games in franchise history. This talk about a reverse of fortune from winning league championship to 10th place at the moment. Just an absolute downturn for the Killer Bees. Hopefully they can get it together. TJ Williams and company do show a lot of potential come playoffs. They need time to gel, though. I think the regular season, just keep getting some practice in. Look at the playoff matches they could have right now. If the team stay the same, we don't know about the primetime situation. If primetime were to go, it'd be 9 teams. They'd be playing Pure Chaos in that 8-9 matchup suddenly.
Officially forfeit the rest of the season.
Is that official? Is that been
Official.
where'd you see that at?
Thing with Lasagna.
Oh, is that official? Wow, that is sad to see. If primetime's done, that's really a shame. Like, I don't know. I was really hoping they can get something going there and figure it out. Maybe a transfer of captainship, but that helps the Bees, though. They got a chaos matchup for 8-9. The only problem is if they do win that game, they have to play the Misfits
Well,
if they win.
if it is an official forfeit, shouldn't that change every game before that? 18-0.
No changes to it. Forfeits are only after the fact. That's how that works. It's crazy, but the situation with prime time's crazy. But who knows? We got other things to talk about. GCFFA results over the weekend. Going to start out Chang Gang 26, 56 or 6. Tough year for the 56 or so far.
56.
Yeah. Second game of the day, Chang Gang defeated the Dragons by a forfeit. Tough break for the Dragons. Third game of the day, Punishers over Chang Gang 12-0. And then they played on Sunday where the Panthers beat the Strong Island Bulldogs 29-26. Jesus. That game sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I wish somebody filmed that.
You all feel?
I don't think it was.
Not even single play.
I don't think so. I'd ask Joe Casone. He was the one who told me about the score. Big shout out to Joe and the Long Island Demons. They're going to be at Rhode Island. Yeah. Our guy, Joe. Take a look at the GCFFA standings now. It's about the same, a little different though. Panthers 5-1 now. The biggest change is the Strong Island Bulldogs loss breaks into 3-3, which with that, the Reapers, Chang Gang, and Scorpions have now surpassed the Strong Island Bulldogs. Bulldogs 7. If the playoffs were to start today, top 4 would have a bye. You'd have Chang Gang and the Rebels. Yeah, the Valona Bro Bowl. In the Battle of Izandus. The brothers. Yeah. I'd love to see that again. The rematch of the GCFFA B chip. Scorpions and 56ers. Oof.
56.
Bulldogs and Dragons would be intriguing if the Dragons can get bodies and not forfeit games. Empire Takeover. Interesting. That's a good measuring stick game for Empire. That's the standings over GCFFA. We'll move on. OMFFL playoffs. We already talked about it to an extent. Rampage over Rebels 15-14. Big stat there. Rampage now 3-1 all time versus the Rebels in elimination games. Bad Boys 6, Titans 0. That was an old school slugfest. Two teams have been around the block for years, facing off, giving each other hell. Great game overall. Misfits 15, Venom 12. Venom actually led 12-0 entering the fourth quarter of that game. Who would have thought Venom would have had a 2-score lead on Misfits in the fourth quarter? But they did. But Misfits in the end, they rallied back. Some controversy. There was something that kind of felt weird to me. The clock was a little off, I felt like, in that game. but I'm not any 9-man rules expert. But the Misfits, you can't take anything away from them at the end of the day. They had a great comeback. They pulled it together in a game where they were shell shocked, they were caught off guard. But give credit to Venom as well. They stepped up and played the best game they played all year, and that performance really shined.
Well,
Scorpions 18, Spartans nothing. Scorpions and Rampage. We talked about Proctor earlier, 8-6 in double overtime. What a battle. Maurice Lowry coming in for Greg Proctor. He stepped up in a big way. He put in the effort, and he got the chance. He got the score in the overtime period and 3 touchdowns against Misfits in the championship. Scorpions, your 2021 OMFFL Fall Champions, 7th championship overall in that league.
that's wild.
Yeah. They're going to finish first. Misfits second. Record-wise, Bad Boys get the edge over Rampage. Same for down here. Rebels over Titans and Spartans over 7th. Venom 8th. Bulls 9th. They did not participate in playoffs. Hopefully we'll see them next year. Maffle playoff results. Rideout over Southside 20-19. That was a great game by all accounts. I heard a lot of good things about that one. Only Us over Dream 14-12. Dream missed a 2-point conversion at the end to tie it. FOE over Blackhawks, no score reported. Playmakers Elite, last I heard was up 20-0 on Only Us. That's not a confirmed final, but that's what I heard last. Rideout over FOE, and then the championship, Playmakers Elite, blowout Rideout, donut shutout, PME, 4-time Maffle champion now.
Wow.
Yeah, they have dominated that league. They took it back. They lost it for a couple years. COVID hurt it for them. Dio and company, a few of their guys were there last year when they lost to Blackhawks as the whacked Rebels in the championship. 1 year later, PME reclaims their throne. Final standings for Maffle. They're going to be first place there. Rideout second. FOE third. Only Us fourth. Dream fifth. Southside sixth. And Blackhawks seventh. Blackhawks first and worst in 1 year. Crazy. Rhode Island flag football week 9 results. Lions 36. Steel nothing. Oof. That's a mismatch. 148 Outlaws 18. Straightforward 13. And 148 Outlaws 28. Rebellion 18. Savages 20. Rhode Island Spartans 13. And 401 Pressure 18. Troy City Titans 14. Take a look at the standings right now in the Rhode Island flag football. Your top 6, that's your A bracket. Lions 10-0. 148 Outlaws 7-2. Brick Squad 6-2. Pressure 401 Pressure 6-2-1. Savages 4-4. Wild Card 4-4-1. Your B bracket Straightforward 4-5. Troy City Titans 2-5-2. Steel 1-7-1. Rhode Island Spartans 0-7-2. And Rebellion 0-8-1. They're going to play each other. News and notes. Rhode Island Flag Bowl schedule is out. Look at these games. So Savages, they're going to make their debut at the Rhode Island Flag Bowl, as will Storm. So these matchups, I like these. I like some of these. If Rollers are out, that's rough because we lose 2 good games against Outlaws and Chain Gang. Yeah, I don't know, man. If this stands, out of all these games, Outlaws Punishers would be a good one. Rollers and Chain Gang has potential. Same for Chain Gang and Lions. Rob Lane and Jeff Costa in a rematch potentially of the A championship from 2019. Lions Punishers at 5 o'clock. This will be the first time they play since the GCFFA semifinals back in June. That's a game that's not been played very often the last few years either. Other games that's sticking out to me, Empire and Show Me. Looking forward to seeing what St. Louis can bring to Rhode Island. Nomads and Dragons. That's going to be a who has more guys kind of game. And this is interesting. Rebellion is entering this despite being 0-8 in league play. They're going to take a shot here at the tournament. It's not going to be easy though. They got Nomads and the Reapers.
See that.
Yeah. Speaking of Reapers, GCFFA league game against the Dragons at 3:45 that day. Other games that stick out to me looking at this schedule. The Browns are back. They're going to be playing Venom and the Demons. Browns and the Demons are going to be playing for the first time this fall. So it'd be interesting to see how both those teams come out and look. Remember, Demons have been playing with the Ducks over in GCFFA as the Panthers. Ducks back in action too. They got the Rebels in another GCFFA league game, as well as the Dirty Birds. Be interesting to see how this one goes. We'll have more next week when we do Rhode Island. Capital Classic updates. Baltimore Spartans are in. Third nine-man tournament this year. 4-4. They went 2-2 at both of them so far. They're staying even. They're getting wins. See what the Spartans can do at Capital Classic. Moving on now. TBT National 9-man rankings. Debuting at the Rhode Island Flag Bowl will be Storm and Arkham. Yeah, that's all I got.
What?
Storm and Arkham. Yeah, you know, the Storm from back in the day, Tim Miller and company. I don't think that's them. Tri-State Storm is not going to Rhode Island. And I don't know anything about Arkham. Jay might know more next week. These are the teams who failed to make the qualifications. You got to have 8 games in. Panthers, from what I'm seeing on the Panthers, the Ducks and the Demons will be playing separately at Rhode Island. So nothing there yet. I'll keep monitoring the situation though. Blazers, I think with Chang being in Rhode Island, that might indicate the Blazers are done. We'll see come nationals. Outcast, like we said, we're not seeing them the rest of the way. Wolverines, they're going to be league only. Honestly, Wolverines are Elite Rebels if Elite Rebels were called Wolverines instead.
What?
Wolverines. It's the Elite Rebels if they were called Wolverines instead. That's the difference. I even saw Wolverine jerseys last week in Nome FFL. Top Dogs, they're not popping back up yet. Show Me Football will be at Rhode Island Flag Bowl. If they get 4 games, they'll be eligible for rankings next time around. But right now, they're kind of in purgatory. Gusto Land, they'll be back in Capital Classic. They'll be eligible at the end of that tournament. NWO, they're going to be currently – haven't seen them yet in a while. Don't know when we'll see NWO again. OTF is not popping up either. I have no idea what happened to OTF. Crazy to think they beat FOE. And then finally you got the Jets, who I don't think we'll see the rest of the way.
You're just doomed if you name your team the Jets. Pretty sure I've already said that.
They had only 8 guys too.
And I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
It's the Jets.
Not a good combination.
It's the Jets.
So a few updates. I've decided that, you know, with NTB committing to nationals, PME to Cap Classic, Changang to Rhode Island, I'm going to take these 3 teams who previously had no tournament appearances. They'll be involved in the ranking system. So now we got 26 teams that are eligible who have not played in the tournament. This is the tier 3 teams. They have losing records and not really are going anywhere.
B squad.
The what?
B squad.
This is the C squad.
B squad.
Yeah, V squad. Yeah, 26. They're in the basement at 0-10.
B squad.
Just above them is UNR at 25th out of the Washington County Flag Football League.
Oh, boy.
And above them is the Rhode Island Spartans, who are going to be playing Rebellion actually for a chance to get their first win of the season this weekend. That'd be a good game.
The fact that they're playing this weekend, they're right above UNR is whatever.
They got a cowbell though.
Keep it moving.
They have a cowbell. I tell you about the cowbell when they had the cowbell played in this game.
Keep it moving.
Does that give you the psychological disadvantage as an opponent?
Pure chaos.
Pure chaos. They're 23rd. I'm going to put the Outlaws above them, though, because the Outlaws had a real win this week.
I was gonna ask if Pure Chaos' second win was
Their first win was UNR, and their second was the forfeit to prime time.
okay.
But they play Outlaws this weekend for a shot at the third win. So the winner of that game will be they have 3 wins.
Outlaws now.
We'll do pick them in a minute. 56ers have another loss. They're 2-10-1 right now. Troy City Titans are 2-5-2. No Stars, they're 3-9. They haven't played yet this fall. Vultures 3-8. Epidemic 3-7. 845 gang 3-6. They've been trying to play, but they've been having a hard time getting numbers. What I've been hearing. Reckless Villains, they're 15th at 3-6. Straightforward. What?
This shit don't make no sense, man.
Why?
No, what I know it don't make no sense.
Yeah, they're without it. This is a tier 3 team without a tournament appearance. It's the bottom barrel of teams that are eligible.
All right.
Straightforward
For what?
rankings if they play in a tournament. Straightforward, they're 4-5 out of the Rhode Island Flag Football League. Here's your tier 2 teams, the teams that are on the cusp of being up there. Number 13, Wild Card, 4-4-1. Demons climb to 12th at 4-4. Ruckus sits at 11th at 5-5. What? Stick Talk is 6-6 out of the SFFA.
Talk?
Yeah, Stick Talk.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Ask them. Is it worse than Tickle Time?
Is there a team called Tickle Time?
Yeah, they're a York team in Hanover.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they're called Tickle Time. And they were bright blue uniforms with Muppets on the back of them.
Fuck Teletubbies or some weird shit. What the fuck?
That's, I'll show you the video after the show.
No, I don't. Always it.
Number 9 is Death Row at 6-5. 8 is the 401 Pressure 6-2-1. And then the Business 7-5. Ball Hawk 7-4. Warriors 7-3. They haven't played yet this fall. We'll see if the Warriors pop
That's my
up the
favorite
rest of the
team
way.
always.
And we'll get to the tier 1 teams. These are the teams on the cusp of eligibility.
Tier 1 of
The teams have had a tournament appearance. What I consider to be rec level teams. They're not playing any competition yet. Number 4 is the West Virginia Venom there at 9-8. They're actually one of the hotter teams right now in 9-man, but they haven't traveled yet. They definitely, though, can make some noise if they played. I wouldn't say they're in the top 25 range, but they're definitely close to top 50. No Excuses, 12-1. They might be at nationals. I don't have confirmation yet. We'll see. Back in Black, 8-3. They're apparently not going to be at nationals. Very sad to hear, but they're going to be. Some of them will be traveling in different places. And of course, Beast Mode 11-2, the SFFA league champion. Supposedly they won't be at nationals either, but we'll see what happens. These are the teams that are eligible, but not eligible. Yeah, they've made the qualifications, 8 games, 1 tournament, but they're not active at the moment. Affiliate Nation, 8-9. Ocean City Sea champions. They have not played in tournament play since Charm City and league play since spring. However, right now, them and Petty are working together as only us. That's how I put it, at least.
Number 3 or 1 team now, and number 2 here is
They're done for the year, the Bulls are.
done.
Yeah, so the way I did the whole Petty AFN thing is that I'm counting Maffel last spring to both Petty and AFN separately. Ocean City as well. But AC is where you start seeing the formation of only us. That's when you start seeing it come together. And so AC Charm City in this past fall season and forward, as long as they're playing as Only Us, will be credited to Only Us. So that's how that's working. Missing the cut in the new rankings. Sitting at 46 is Elite / DX at 0-12. They have not appeared yet. Rebellion making their debut at 0-8-1 in Rhode Island. We'll see what they can do. Steel, they're going to be back at Rhode Island as well at 1-9-1. What? What?
Too many colors going on.
7-1-7 Elite 2-8. There's shush. Prime time, they're sitting at 6-12, but if they're out, then they might be in the inactive list next week. We'll see what's happening there. New York Rebels at 41st, 7-15-1. They're gonna be back at the Rhode Island Flag Bowl. Killer Bees at 40th. They're 8-16 out of the KFFL. Dirty Birds 39th. They're 3-7. They're coming back at the Rhode Island Flag Bowl.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Spartans 38th. They're 20-14 out of KFFL. A lot of wins, just not a lot of quality wins. Savages, they're 37 at 6-4 out of the Rhode Island Flag Football. Broad Axe 9-4 out of the Washington County Flag Football League. They're currently not playing at the moment. Maybe they'll pop up in a tournament. I hope so. We miss Broad Axe. 35th is Nomads. They're going to be back at the Flag Bowl. 34th, the Spartans. They're going to be back at Capital Classic.
How many championships more like that?
13.
13 champions.
Yes, sir. Southside 9-14 at 33rd, 32nd, Maryland Venom. 31st, Blackhawks, 30th, Dream. X-Dogs 29th. Dream's been on a downturn. Like Dream and Blackhawks have both gone downhill so quick that it's kind of been hard for me to keep them ranked. So I got them properly sitting there. Demons, I'm going to prop them at the 28th. They're looking on the inside. They'll be back at the Flag Bowl. Same for the Browns at 27th.
Browns are playing up there?
Yeah, Browns are back. I'm happy about that. That's a big move. That's a real big move. So we'll see how they do because they had something at AC, I thought. Dragons will be at 26. So the Dragons are the last team out, technically speaking. They got to put the forfeits. Yeah. He's the only guy who shows up every week on a consistent basis. Here's my new rankings. Number 25, Maryland Titans, 19-11-1. What's hurting Maryland Titans right now for me is their inability to perform in elimination games. They have gone one and done way too much. They just OMFFL, one and done. You go back to Charm City. Yeah, they got one win, but lost in the quarterfinals again. They can't get past the quarterfinals. Like because the lack of they perform sometimes, but not all the time. It's starting to hurt them.
I've always rooted for the Titans. Man.
I do too. I like the Titans. Yeah.
The Maryland Titans, by the way.
Yes, sir. Maryland Titans, not the Troy City.
Not the Boonesboro Titans.
No, there you go again. Number 24, FOE. They're 16-12 right now. They got to the semifinals and Maffel fell short to ride out.
Was the FOE on 3?
FOE on 3. 23rd, Bad Boys. 17-17-2, but they've gotten better this past season in OMFFL. That team's starting to put something together. It may not be the squad it was a year ago, but they're starting to play better as a team right now than what they were over the spring and summer, I feel like. Yeah, they're playing better. 22 is Only Us at 12-7-1. Like I said, this is counting at this point AFN's team in AC and Charm City. Because that's where I started seeing what was the formation of that team was around those two tournaments. And, of course, the Maffel fall season. So my overall record for them is 12-7-1. Semifinalists, they fell to PME. Brick Squad, 21st. They're 10-4-1. They'll be at the Rhode Island Flag Bowl. I do, too. I look forward to seeing them again. Changay, they're going to debut at 20th at 11-6. GCFFA Spring Champion. They're making their circuit debut at the Rhode Island Flag Bowl. Takeover will be sitting at 19th at 9-8. Reapers at 18th at 9-5-2. 148 Outlaws 8-4. Rideout 17-14-1. They're going to be 16th overall. We're going to move to the 15th now. Empire, I got them at 15th at 9-6. They'll be at the Rhode Island Flag Bowl. Riot Squad at 14th. They'll be back at the Rhode Island Flag Bowl. Ducks at 13th, 10-7-1. They'll be back at the Rhode Island Flag Bowl. Baez Auto 9-5. I don't think we'll see them again until Nationals, unfortunately. No entry yet on them in Capital Classic. And they were talking about going to Rhode Island, but from what I heard, opted out of that. Playmakers Elite 11 at 15-6. They're going to debut at that spot at 11th. They'll be entering the Capital Classic. First time they would be at a tournament since Worlds 2020. Fall champions over Rideout. Looking forward to seeing what PME can do getting back on the circuit. They're going to debut at 11th right now. Strong resume going into the Capital Classic. Number 10 is the Elite Rebels at 17-1. Great game of Rampage, just could not get through in the end. Number 9 is Rampage, 40-12-2. The resume speaks for himself, just falling short though in the end to the Scorpions. Number 8 is the Misfits, 32-13. Great record overall, but they have not won anything yet. That's the one thing hurting that franchise right now is they have not won a championship yet. First year team, they'll get something soon, but right now, out of all the top 10, they're anyone without a championship in some regard. Them and the Lions. And main event. The main event does have a natty from this past January. Debuting in number 7, NTB Wolfpack. They're undefeated 11-0 right now. They're on a 16 game winning streak going back to Nationals. Last loss to the Blackhawks. That was a fluke in the long run. They beat them the next day, haven't looked back since. Number 6, the Scorpions, 30-23-2. They've done a great job. First team to win 2 leagues in 1 calendar year. Big moves for the Scorps. Top 5. Number 5 is the Lions, 22-4-1. They'll be back at the Rhode Island Flag Bowl. They're running right through RIFF right now. And number 4, main event, 8-2. Nothing on them yet for anything anytime soon. I think we won't see them again until Nationals. Number 3 is the High Rollers, 11-2. Hopefully they didn't drop out, but you're saying they did, so yeah. That's insane.
DJ Tarver saying that.
Oh damn.
That's who I heard, bro.
Shit. Oh, he told you? You and him had lunch together?
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't tell me about that.
About me.
Shit. That's where all the discussions go down there. It's Battleview. Number 2 is the Strong Island Bulldogs at 22-7. And you're new. And number 1, once again, Punishers 23-6. They're coming off a win. They got some momentum right now. They'll be at Rhode Island. We'll see how it goes. Regional rankings. Here we go. Up north, number 1, of course, is the Punishers. 2 is Strong Island. 3 is the High Rollers. 4 is Main Event. 5 is the Lions. 6 is the Ducks. 7 is Riot Squad. Empire 8th. 148 Outlaws 9th. Long Island Reapers 10th. And of course, in the Southern region, Scorpions be 1st. Wolfpack 2nd. Misfits 3rd. Rampage 4th. Rebels 5th. PME 6th. Baez 7th. Rideout 8th. Only Us 9th. Bad Boys 10th. FOE was 11th, by the way. That's the correction from earlier. So that's your top 10 for both regions. Let's continue on past that. Let's get to the leagues represented. GCFFA, they lose 1 in the Dragons. They gain 1 in the end with Chain Gang. OMFFL, they're going to be saying about the same at 5. Maffel loses 2 in Dream and Blackhawks, but gain 1 at PME. Independent, Riff, and KFL about the same. St. Louis adds 1 in the midst of the loss of one of the Maffel members. York and XFFL both sitting at 1 apiece. Overall wins right now, Rampage is the most at 40. Misfits second most at 32. Scorpions third most at 30th. Punishers fourth most at 23rd. Bulldogs and Lions tied at 5th most at 22. Spartans 7th most at 20th. And Tri-State and KFL. Maryland Titans at 19. And Rideout and Bad Boys at 17 each. Yeah. Schedule for this week, X-Dogs, Misfits, 8 a.m. Who you got? 9 a.m. Sorry, we're in KFFL, by the way.
Who you got?
X-Dogs, Misfits. Game of the week.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What a great start.
Yeah.
I got the rain.
Rain. Yeah, I hear the rains. You got rain all day.
Oh, I need to hear
50% chance right now.
If the game plays out, I'm gonna go Misfits
I got Misfits too.
in a close game.
If this game happens, Misfits prime time. I guess we'll skip the prime time games. Yeah.
Yeah. I got
Misfits Venom. That's a good one.
You just skip over prime time.
Yeah, because he's apparently Jamie says they're done. So they're
I got
done.
these with the rain.
More rain.
Venom Misfits. I got Misfits.
I got Misfits too. Spartans, Wolverines. I got Wolverines.
Yeah.
And then the game of the week, Outlaws, Pure Chaos. I got Outlaws.
I got.
Rhode Island playoffs.
South Listen getting a forfeit.
Yeah.
It's,
Rhode Island playoffs, B division. Rebellion, Spartans. Who gets their first win?
Rebellion.
I'm gonna go Spartans. Winner versus straightforward. Who you got?
Straightforward.
I got them too. Steel versus Troy City Titans.
Oh man. So I have to pick.
Yeah, you gotta pick who wins, the Steel or the Titans.
Go Steel, just because it's not Steelers.
I'm gonna go Titans. Championship. I got Titans. Who you got?
Straightforward.
You got straightforward. All right. Good night, everybody.